nigga be crispy. Yeah, hey. I'm shameless, so shameless. With my dogs on the block, it was dangerous. Take your girl out to eat and she's paying. I'm shameless, so shameless. I'ma go hit Tahoe up. Come bring the Tahoe truck, body bags on body bags. Come pick this garbage up. DJ mixing in the booth, he leave him traumatized up. I ain't got no time to waste. Let's get these commas up. I'm sitting in class, I can't even focus. Looking at teach, hoping that she don't notice. Titty sit right, got ass be poking. Sitting in the front, cause I gotta be the closest. I'm just waiting for the bell, let everybody leave. I passed with an A, but left her with a D.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Why don't you ask her? Don't you never ask nobody how much they make. What time did you get home?
4 o'clock in the morning with chicken on her breast.
You gonna marry the garbage man, Mama? Oh, Patrice, I went out with a man one time. What do you do with the garbage man till 4 o'clock in the morning?
I hope you don't marry him.
And why not?
Because we got enough kids around here. You ain't gotta be married to have a baby, stupid. I know it's stupid. The man puts his penis in the woman's vagina.
Not in Mommy's. What you hit me for, you son of a bitch?
It's a dirty take that hat off in the house.
Did you make it with him?
Charles, that's none of your business.
It is our business. One thing we don't need around here is another nigga.
It's disgusting anyway. A woman her age.
I'm 36.
It's 9 times what?
It's 36 and it ain't old.
It's too old to be messing around.
Oh.
Man, that dude to give you a baby and disappear just like those other niggas you had.
Charles, I don't want to hear no more about it, and I mean that.
It's good, y'all. How y'all feeling today?
I love it.
Interesting way to start the show, right?
Yeah, yeah. Who is Charles in relation to her?
Yeah.
I need some clarity.
Very interesting. It looked like her oldest son.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We had a very interesting episode last week. We had SD, the whole phase expert here. And there was a lot of talk about fatherhood and motherhood and stuff like that. Somebody sent me this clip. And before I introduce my guest this week, we're just going to talk for a second, then I'll introduce you. I'd like to know, what did you notice about this clip? What did you see? What stood out to you? Just as far as, what were the problems that you saw in this clip?
Bunch of little niggas talking mad shit.
Bunch of little niggas talking mad shit, right? There's a lot. So are we gonna say
respectfully?
Was you thinking? So you think it was respectful?
No, I'm saying respectfully calling them niggers.
Oh, I think niggas can call them niggas.
Terrible boundaries.
Terrible boundaries. What do you mean by that?
There's just certain conversations that you're not allowed to have with your parents, and them kids is talking to her like they her equals. Outside of the oldest son, because it looks pretty clear that he's dealing with the equal responsibility. But the little ones sitting there questioning what time you got in the house, that's crazy.
I like
I
you
would have
already.
never been able to do that.
You said exactly what I said, but in an articulate way. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Well, there's cursing. There's cursing in the video. In one of the littlest ones.
Yeah.
Little bitch.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Somebody slapped the other one.
It's
right?
out of control.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lack of order.
Yeah. Right.
When you say boundaries, a lack of order. I think that's something that having a father around might have changed.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Right? What do you think about the relationship between the mother and Charles, the oldest?
I think Charles is acting like the man of the house, and he's acting like, playing a father role to some degree.
He's also holding her accountable for not continuously making the same mistake. Because he said, if you go outside and be with this nigga, he gonna drop off another baby like all the other niggas you done brought in. Because you 36 and these is all these kids that we raising. Stop worrying about niggas. Like,
how do you think that affects Charles in the way he looks at women?
oh, he's gonna be one of those men that are on social media talking about single mothers and baby mamas, this and that.
So now
Almost.
he's one of those that goes out into the world and is spewing all types of negativity because he resents his mother.
Exactly.
And the way he grew up in the house and the position that he had to play, which would have been different if there was a father around. What else do you see about this video? There's a lot going on, but I'm pretty sure I know there's 5 or 6. I only watched the video once or twice. And
Also,
Toro was here, so I watched it while Toro was setting up, and I'm like, yo, it's a lot. This
It's a lot
show's
going
a
on.
lot.
It's a lot going
Also
on.
see a fairly young woman, 36 is not old, and she's still trying to enjoy her life and still manage her life and her kids, but have a little bit of me time and like balance her life. You know what I mean?
She a little loose. No, I'm just playing.
I mean,
She got about 7 kids in there, and she fucked Charles on the first. She fucked the garbage man on the first night. It is the goddamn garbage man. Did you catch his number on the way past? Not that it doesn't happen. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Or so I've heard.
and it's also more to unpack because I've seen the movie, but she's living in like extreme poverty.
There we are. That's what I was gonna say.
So it's like she's continuously going out, dating, having babies, and she can't even pay her bills. The whole movie's premise is her being on public assistance and having to hide anytime she buys something nice. Not even allowed to have a man in the house because she's gonna lose her benefits. So it's a lot going on in that movie.
So I'm trying to figure out it because women are allowed to be sexual. Women are allowed to have a life. But is this tactless? Does she need to like pull it in a little bit? Like, I don't know if those are all the same father or those children. I'm not sure. But is she out? Is it wrong that she's out doing her in this way, knowing that she has them kids and shit? I don't know.
I mean,
you don't want to talk down on women. That's not your
no,
thing.
no,
That's
no,
not
no,
your
that's
thing.
not that's not what I'm
your-
saying.
Hey, listen, I'm just
that's
trying to
not
say.
what I'm saying. What I'm saying is,
Are those all the same father?
no,
A bunch of different fathers.
bunch of different fathers. Like the son was saying, like you outside and you keep coming home with more babies and we can't afford it. So as a single mother myself, I think I can speak on this topic. You don't want to keep making the same mistake. Like, I'm not about to be a single mother to 5. That's crazy. It's like, okay, you get got one time, okay, that's your bad. You get got 2 times, it's like, damn, next time you better learn. But she has mad kids in the movie. And she, like I said, she's extremely poor. Extremely poor. So,
Fool me once, shame on me.
poor pussy management. Poor pussy
There's a
management.
little poor pussy management.
Yeah.
Anything else? Well, I think Kira. Damn, I wasn't supposed to say your name yet, but I think Kira spoke on it already. Just these kids are all over the fucking place. She can't parent all those kids. I know my mother coming home at 5, at 6, was stressed the fuck out from working all day. Her even trying to get me going through homework was hard because she also had to worry about dinner. She was stressed about life. That's just with one kid and no father. Having 7, how's she gonna educate those kids? How is she gonna parent those children? At this point, you can tell by the way they're acting, they parenting each other. The one is telling the other one to chill out, and you're not my mom, you call you little bitch. You know what I'm saying? So now these are 7 kids that going into the world that don't really have a parent. And that are raised in a space where they resent each other, where all types of other issues are happening that are going to affect them, and they're going to affect the world. Each one of them. And those things could have been changed if a father was around. Now,
Or if she used protection. Get the strap.
well, I'm going to say this. That problem happens if it's one child. Right? That problem happens if there's a marriage that failed and that child is left in the home and the father is somewhere else not paying attention. There's still one that's going to go out there there's an imbalance because now she has to do all these things by herself. You know what I'm saying? There's an imbalance. I know that personally. So we can't, to me, I'm not going to put it on women to say, oh, you know, if she would have been more careful, it's just as far as protection. Because that can happen in a failed relationship that, you know, had vows and everything.
Right.
It can still happen. I want to bring up matter of fact, let me introduce this week's guest. This week's guest is Kira J.
Hey, y'all.
She spoke at our third live show in New York.
Yeah.
So we had the first one, then we had third live show. We had New York, we had Atlanta, then we did back another one in New York. And she was at our last live show.
Yes.
Please tell the people about yourself. You going on tour soon and stuff?
Yes, I'm going on tour soon. I'm a spoken word artist. I am a professional male basher. So, team fuck these niggas at all time now.
By the way, I invited her to sit here with Dodge. Dodge was supposed to be here. So I was actually trying to help Dodge out today to give her, you know, she's been kind of getting jumped lately. It's been a lot. Last week was a lot for her. Mm-hmm. She called out today.
Y'all was messing with my baby.
She called out. I guess she had enough. No, I'm just playing. Dodge had some plans. She had things to do. But I invited Kira. I was like, hey, you know what? We got a couple one-ups on her, so you know what?
Yes,
come
we
on,
was
let's bring
gonna
in
jump
heavy
y'all.
hitters.
We was gonna jump y'all. It's
You know what
cool.
I'm saying?
I'll be back.
You coming back next week?
I'll come back when my girl come back, and we gonna set it off.
Trav is actually on our side. The entire list today, we have one category. Normally we have like parenthood, we have like discipline, we have women, we have men. Today is one category. Women.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Shout out to y'all listening to the show. If you're on your way to work this week, if you like sitting there and Bob, the fucking office manager, is fucking with you, tell him, suck my dick. Don't go spit on the niggas. We got bills to pay. So I'm sucking my dick, put in your headphones, and let's vibe out. Okay. Last week, or this week, one of our clips posted with SD, the whole phase expert, started an interesting conversation. And I'd like to play it in relation to this first clip. All right? I want to know what y'all think. I don't know if y'all been paying attention to if Trom, you've been paying attention to the comments, but here, what do you think about this?
All this stuff out here about black men ain't this and that for their kids, that is a lie. We are doing an excellent job out here as dads. No matter what you see on TV and no matter what they tell you out here on social media, can we do better? Is there a segment of men that are deadbeat losers? Absolutely. But according to the studies, the CDC, the Department of Family Services, black men outdo every race of man in and outside of the household when it comes to caring for their kids, doing homework, playing with their kids, feeding their kids, changing diapers and all that. Black men outdo every other race of man per the stats. Really? All right? So now, dudes that don't take care of their kids or don't spend quality time or financially help, those dudes are losers. And I have no sympathy for what happens to men that don't care for their kids.
Okay. I actually played, after this clip, I played a clip where Oprah said the same thing. Right? Now, we have a professional male basher on the show today. And you also have one father that has 3 children, and 2 twins not in their house. They also special needs children. I always felt the way about leaving the house with special needs children. And then I was just like, yo, you're a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? So there's an example of one that's not in the house right now. Now, my daughter does live with me. She hasn't always lived with me. But when she was younger, I wasn't there. I was not. It took some real growth for me to realize that I had some work to do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still very proud of the way I parent now. But I can definitely see where women would be upset at men for stepping out the house, you know, and stepping away from their parental duties. But I was kind of shocked at the reaction to this clip. There were several women in the comments basically saying, this is misinformation.
Wow.
You are speaking. Listen, it was. I don't know if it's man bashing. I'm gonna go to the comments. Let me see if I can find some. All right, so I found one. Let me see. One young lady. Now I'm talking about there's a lot here, but I'm gonna speak on what one young lady said if I can find it. Okay, she says the numbers don't lie, but the man in this video does. She says, if you're not intelligent enough to interpret a study or statistics, don't go around spreading misinformation based on your ignorant interpretation of the numbers. Excuse me, the president is going by. He's quoted a couple studies in the video, the CDC and one from the Bureau, and then posted some quotes from Pew Research in the comments. The methodology of the studies differ a bit, so the numbers are not exactly the same. However, the story that the numbers tell is roughly the same. The conclusion of the studies and corresponding figures elude that all men that are non-co-residential are less active fathers than those that are co-residential or married and living with their partners. Right? In other words, to the people as stupid as I am, because I had to Google non-co-residential, the ones that don't live in the house. Like, she could have just said that, but she's a little too smart. She said, elude. Elude. Using big words. Elude. But she's talking about the fathers that don't live in the house are less active than the fathers that do. Wow. Wait a minute, there's more. I just thought that was groundbreaking. You didn't think that was a lot? I was like, wow. Really? I'm joking, young lady. Don't start. I'm joking. All men that are non-co-residential are less active fathers than those that are co-residential or married and living with their partners. But of the non-co-residential population, black fathers are active at a slightly, capital slightly, higher rate than other ethnicities. Despite the figures of fathers that are non-co-residential yet active fathers, over half, 51% in one study and 57% in another, of black children are still fatherless. He probably doesn't realize it, and everyone that agrees with his interpretation of the study is pretty much saying all fathers that leave their home suck, but of all the fathers that suck, black fathers suck a little bit less. That is not a flex. I said, I was disturbed. Now, this is one of hundreds of comments like this. Speaking of misinformation, speaking of the fact that he's lying. They said lie. Even though the facts actually say that he's told the truth. It's just not a huge thing, right? They're saying that black fathers are slightly doing better. So if it's black fathers are doing 51%, then not Hispanic, I doubt it. Sorry, y'all. Let's just say other fathers are doing 48%, right? But it bothered me that the ladies were so incensed by the video. Can you tell me why? Do you have any perspective on that?
If someone came up to you and tried to present you with statistics of how police do a good job in some cases, does that diminish your experience with dealing with the police? Or are you going to feel like you're trying to invalidate what I'm telling you I'm going through? So if women are voicing how hard it is to be single mothers and how infuriating it is to constantly be left with children, and then someone comes like, but the stats show, it's like, kind of fuck what you talking about. If I'm telling you this is my experience, and you come presenting paperwork and statistics and data that, well, that can't be your experience because the studies show this, then that's probably why they're getting upset. Because when you're looking at the comments, you're not looking at the people that are even signing up for these studies. You're looking at women who are raising their children every day by themselves.
So I could appreciate that analogy, and I could understand it. It makes sense. The difference is police and black people are naturally at odds against each other. Black men and black women should naturally try to have better relationships with each other. So if we get a piece of good news that celebrates and uplifts black men, why are we in a rush to be like, nah? You know what I'm saying? Like, even if it is semantics or there's like the research doesn't paint the whole picture, it still is valid research and still has factual information on it. It doesn't mean that it portrays every black woman's experience, but we can't just let that post go by and be like, all right, that's a bit of black news, a bit of good news about black men. We'll allow it. Why do we have to be fighting against it? It's cops and black people is a different dynamic than black women and black men. So why we can't just allow some good news to exist with the narrative of black men without giving pushback?
There's always going to be pushback if people feel like the whole story isn't being told. You know, his question wasn't why are people upset? It's like, what is the outrage? So if you're seeing something that's like, you're going to feel like it's a lie because where am I seeing this in my daily life? You know what I mean? Like, that's like, again, with the statistics and people go, oh, look at all these jobs I created. The politicians start hitting you with the statistics, and you've been unemployed for 2 years. It's kind of like, fuck your stats. I'm out here every day experiencing this. I don't want to hear stats when it comes to my daily life. So that's where the emotion gets arisen. See, me personally, I clap for any good news of anybody, but I can see why certain people would see that post and be like, fuck out of here. That's not true.
Now, I listen to both parties, right? My thing is, he actually said there are deadbeat black fathers, and they are losers, and we don't support them. This is a fact. It happens. It is true. Why was that overlooked? Why was it completely overlooked? To your analogy, I will say that, I don't like police. I've never had really great experiences with them. But are we going to say that 51% of them kill black people? Because if you're going to compare it to this study, then you're going to say 51% of them have killed black people. It's just, it's not a good analogy. That one is like overreaching. They are harming our neighborhood completely, but not in the way that black fathers and black children are. Like, it's not the same. Do you agree? No?
Well,
do you disagree? Because I'm still talking about the relation to this clip. I was pro y'all on this clip. They need to have fathers there.
Yes. I agree with him saying that, there are deadbeat losers, and I don't think that portion of it should have been overlooked. But I think that what a lot of black men don't realize is some of y'all in existence are to us what police are to y'all. So there are often times where, as a black man, you'll see a group of police and you might want to cross the street. As a black woman, we'll see a group of black men and we might want to cross the street. So I don't want to say like it's an even equivalent, maybe not as far as statistics go, but experience wise, a lot of black women have this fear or towards y'all that y'all have towards the cops.
And I feel that because it's kind of like,
when I see black niggas, I'll be wanting to cross the street.
Yo, I was going to say the same shit.
This ain't a y'all versus us
As
thing.
much as I'm pro-black and I love black people and, yo, what's up, King? But all of my negative experiences in the street have been with other black men. You know what I mean? I've never gotten robbed by no other race. Nobody else put a gun in my head except for my own people, right? But there's something about me being pro-black and me being optimistic that if I hear some good news about my people, and not only that, but I'm just going to have a different outlook towards black men. I'm always going to try to keep it positive and keep it pushing. Like, the negative shit ain't going to get us nowhere.
So that's the thing for me. I've always said, what is, I still speak on what Miss April Mason, and she actually wanted to come on the show when she was here, and I really wish I'd have had her on the show. She said, what do we get out of it? What do we... Solution-based conversations is what she said. When I see something like this, I'm like, okay, what does this clip do for black men? Empowers. Is black male empowerment not a thing? We can't do that because the women will speak on all of the negative experiences? Because if it were a woman speaking on black women and all the men that had negative experiences with black women jumped in the comments, y'all would be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we can't have a moment?
We can't have a moment? But there seems to be an equivalency. It doesn't exist for black men. We can't say how good we're doing because the women will say valid reasons as to why we shouldn't be saying it. Because it's like, yo, all right, you've had bad experiences. I grew up without a dad. I can also say that I wasn't a good dad. So I can relate to the comments. I get it. And I said that in my retort. If you're growing up without a father, and if you're raising children without a father, you're not going to be like love black fathers under this clip. But you could have kept fucking scrolling.
Right.
I think I liked it when I saw it because I'm on the spectrum of having been raised with an amazing black dad and then also being a single mother. So my experience with my baby father doesn't then take away my experience growing up with this amazing black dad. So I think because I have that, I'm able to be neutral in the sense of saying, yes, black men. But if you're talking about a comment section full of women who never had either, she never had a father to help raise her, and she never had a man to help raise her children, she don't want to hear it. I'm able to hear it because it's like, man, even though I'm taking care of this baby by myself, my daddy's helping me. But when you've never had a father and you've never had a good baby father, both of your experiences being negative with men, how do I tell you to hear that? How do I get you to hear that? I know for me, when it came to, because I used to be way worse with the way I talk about men. Mm-hmm. Black men who didn't even know me came to me apologizing on behalf of the niggas that did everything to me. They was like, nobody should have ever went through that. I'm sorry that you went through that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I went through my pregnancy by myself. Random black strange men I never even met was like, we sorry that happened to you. That's not how we supposed to carry our women. And I think those apologies allowed me to embrace the forgiveness so I don't walk around resenting black fathers. I'm like, yeah, well, you know, I'm a single mother, but it's cool. Life goes on. But yeah, I think that instead of seeing those comments and feeling like attacked, like why we can't have a moment, just be like, I'm sorry that you feel this way. And I'm sorry that this has been your experience and we agree to do better as people. Because when black men come to me and they tell me how their entire life they felt belittled, they felt like they wasn't good enough, they felt like women only valued them for their accolades, acts of service, their money, I'm not sitting there going, well, because you know we supporting you and why you not giving us credit for this and that. I'm like, I'm sorry that somebody made you feel that way. Even though I wasn't the one to do it, I'm going to apologize on her behalf and show you what real love feels like from a woman. We have to learn how to just apologize and forgive each other instead of this constant battle. Because if there's no forgiveness, then what's the resolve? We're going to stay mad forever.
I like that. And can I add one thing? And if it doesn't apply to you, if the clip doesn't apply, if you don't have good fathers in your life or a good baby father, then it's okay to skip the post. You don't have to comment something negative. And you made the comment about politicians. I'd be like, oh, I created all these jobs. And knowing that there's mad variables,
Yes,
you can't necessarily
like,
take
on.
responsibility for that bit of research, right? Mm-hmm. But if a Republican posted that and said, I created all these jobs, their fellow Republicans will either be quiet or will champion them. Republicans ain't going to go against each other. You know what I mean? Publicly. Mm-hmm. So why as black people do we have to go against each other? Like we are in the same party. Right? Black men and black women.
We supposed to be.
Why are we fighting each
We are
other?
not in the same party.
That's what we should be,
We
is
are
my
Republicans and Democrats.
point. But we should be in the same party with the same objective to uplift our people and have a better black family dynamic.
I just don't feel like that's the way reality has placed us. The reality of women is a lot of them feel like they're on their own or either on extreme defense or extreme offense when it comes to dating people of the opposite sex. Mm-hmm. I was having a conversation with one of the followers in my DMs about that clip, and she said that black women were forced to be independent at some point. And I said, when did that happen? Do y'all think that black women were forced to be independent?
Absolutely.
When?
Mass incarceration, where they took our men from us.
Okay.
When they decided, the black family structure is the power. We are the only race that had the government, the FBI signed up to ruin our power, which was our black family. They said we finna either take these men and give them a bunch of drugs so they be out the house, or we just gonna lock them all up in droves. You know, it was like when you don't have a man around, then you kind of get fed to the wolves. And I've explained this to people many a times. There's a lot of women who choose femininity for their comfort that I've had to reject for my safety. I don't always get to walk around soft and timid and delicate because I have to be the man and a woman in my house for my own protection. So people look at you as a target sometimes if you don't have a man with you. If you know the saying of how a woman taking her car to the shop, she should go with a man because they're going to try to charge you over. People just respect you so much differently when there's men present. And when you're out in this world on your own, you have to have this hyper independence because there's nobody speaking for you. It's very Victorian. That's some old age stuff. I've been watching Bridgerton too. It's kind of like that. You ain't got no man and you worthless. So that's kind of when it happened, around the time that they started mass incarceration.
So then why is it that women seem to blame men, the men, for having been forced to be independent?
I think because in our hyper independence, we weren't met with the apologies of what the system did to us. We were met with the, that's why y'all too hard and nobody wants black women. As if this was something we signed up for either. As if this was something that we even wanted either. So you had droves of men coming to tell us, y'all are too hard and y'all are too strong and this is why we prefer every other woman. So it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Where's the understanding of why we are the way we are? Even if we want to sit back and understand that it's not y'all fault that y'all are in the position that y'all are in, where's our understanding to say, it's not her fault that she's that aggressive and angry? Where's the understanding to say all you need is a man to come and make you feel safe enough to be soft, but they don't do that. They just say this woman is aggressive and this is why nobody wants black women and y'all all bitter. As if we both don't deal with the side effects of the system. So that's where the anger comes in because we don't get that understanding.
I could fight back on that, but I truly agree with you, right? I would say that I think if I look at the first clip, none of those children grew up with a father. The boys don't know how to be men. They grow up thinking there's a victim mentality across the board. In your statement just now, you want to know why the men don't say, I'm sorry that happened to you.
Us.
It's because it happened to me too.
Yeah, it's already happened to us.
And you're asking me somewhat to forego my experience to accept the way that you handle me and to make you feel comforted. But I'm still living in a victim mentality as well. And they're boys. I was talking to a young man at my job and I asked him to do something and he gave me a, you can't tell me what to do attitude. But I got 13 years on the job. You just started 6 months ago. I'm just telling you the right way to do the job, bro. I'm not trying to punk you. I'm not trying to big man you. I'm trying to tell you the way to get through probation so that you can have this job which will change your life. And he gave, like his back went up and he had that energy. Now I could beat him. But I chose for the brother to kind of ask him some questions. Where do you think that's going to take us? Where do you think this attitude is going to take us? Like, where does it come from? Did I do something to you? You know what I'm saying? And in the end, we had a conversation which basically, you know, he was raised by his mother and he doesn't really take authority or direction well. He's always feels like he got to fight back. And I was like, yo, that's your daddy issues. You don't even realize it, but those are daddy issues and mommy issues. And you got to learn how to man up a little bit and be able to take so that you can respond with leadership. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of boys out here that don't have that. And they resent women who are supposed to be their partners, who are holding them accountable for the female experience when they have a male experience that is not being accepted or recognized. I want to ask the question. I don't know if I want to ask Traum because Traum has a way of trying to gaslight sometimes. But I'm going to ask the question to the room. Do y'all think women have taken advantage of being independent? Do you think it's gone too far?
Good question.
The reason the question was asked, do you want me to stop right there?
No, go ahead.
He gotta have money. There was did you see the young lady that had the clip on Spiritual World or something? And she was like, when did we become like this? When we're just like all about bagging rappers and athletes and when did it happen? Did y'all see that clip?
I didn't see it. No.
You can answer it and then I'll try to find the clip right now. But go ahead, Trump. You were gonna say something.
So you tried to expand on the question and I forgot the original question. What was the original?
Do you think women have taken advantage of becoming independent?
So yeah, I wouldn't say taking advantage, but I would say taking it too far, right? Because I understand why women are in that mindset to want to be independent, and you can't blame women and be like, yo, why are you being so independent? Because we had to, right? So at some point, you gotta like, all right, stop for a second, look around and think about, all right, what's healthy? What do we need to do as a community moving forward? And And even in Tahoe's situation with with your coworker, like everybody got their guard up. Everybody's worried about don't try to play me and all that. Like black women have their guard up, black men have their guard up. At some point, to have a better community, you got to be vulnerable. You got to be open to dialogue, and can't everybody always just have this rough exterior where we try to do it all ourselves and be super independent. It has gotten to be too much, and I think it's to the detriment of the black family.
To everybody.
Yeah.
It's killing us.
I found the video.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to know what Kara thinks about it. Because, like she said, she's a male basher. But I do believe that the good male bashers are ones that know when to take accountability. Or hold some people like, all right, bitch, like, you doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going too far. Let's see.
I wish women really understood nowadays how horrible we present ourselves on social media and publicly when it comes to conversations about money and men making money. It blows my mind whenever I come across a post on social media of a woman who announces her pregnancy and she's pregnant by like a rapper, like a pro athlete or something. And there are thousands of comments from women under that post saying, God, please, when is it going to be my turn? Lord, please send me my millionaire. There are whole pages on TikTok and Instagram dedicated to teaching women how to sniff out millionaires and how to sniff out men with money. I just want to know, how do we get to this place collectively as women? Not, Lord, please send me a man of values, a man of morals, a man of integrity, a man who will commit himself to me, a man who will love me, honor me, respect me, a man who will be a good example for my children, a man who will lead my family properly. No. Just send me a man who's a millionaire and I'm going to figure the rest out on the back end. Imagine being a good man. Imagine being one of the men that I just described. A man who wants to find a wife, a man who is all of those things. And you go on social media and you're scrolling through the comments and this is what you see. This is what you have to choose from. This is what you see the mindset of modern women as. And then one of the most ridiculous responses to this that I've seen whenever women are challenged on these things, the response is always, well, half of the men who are worrying about it, they're broke anyway. They won't have to worry about a woman trying to use them for their money because they don't have any. That is not the point, sweetie. That's not the point. Your mentality as a woman, especially a woman who is considering having children or who has children, should not be financial status first, integrity, character second. It is so sad to me how the modern dating market and the overall tone of the modern dating market is that of entitlement and what's in it for.
Can I give my perspective on it? No. So obviously I'm not a woman, so I can't really tell you why, but I can tell you what I think it is. I think it's because, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's because most women, maybe you could even say particularly black women, have accepted the idea that all men ain't shit. So if I'm gonna deal with an ain't shit nigga, he might as well got bread. At least if I'm gonna cry in a Maybach instead of something else. You know what I mean? I've heard that before. So given that, I'm like, all right, it makes sense. I'm not looking for integrity and all that if I don't think it exists, right?
Kara, what do you think about this?
I think this is the perfect example of real world versus social media. Because if we're being honest, the average black man is not running into that unless he's seeking out the woman that is going after the rapper. There's a certain type of uniform that comes with a certain type of woman that wants a baller. She's going to have her body done, bundles to the ground, face beat for the god. She's probably going to have labels on. If you approach the woman in that uniform with the average man's income and attire, then how are you to be upset that she doesn't go for you? That's like, I said this before, Steve Urkel spent his whole life going after Laura when he could have just wanted the girl Myra. Like, go after Myra. The average black man might overlook the average black woman, or the average black man is happily married with the average black woman, and the rest of us is on social media thinking that everybody's going through this in real life. Now, does it happen? Absolutely. There are a bunch of women that's like, ice me out, fly me out, blah, blah, blah. I want to scam a baller. The same way social media will make you believe that the average man doesn't want a regular woman. oh, she got to have her body done, her waist got to be like this and that. In the real world, offline, the average woman is not experiencing what we experience on our timelines. And it's super, super important that we don't get caught up with what our timeline is telling us is happening. Now, for me personally, my take on why I think the independence in that conversation has gone too far, but I don't think we take advantage, me personally, because I'm a get money woman. It allows me the freedom to date men that I like. If you're dating for financial stability or you're dating because you need a provider, then your first question is going to be, what does this man make? But because I make my own money, I have the luxury to say, do I even like this person? Mm. And a lot of people don't have the luxury to say, do they like this person, because they're needing someone to partner with for survival. Mm. I think that if we all, women and men, focus on our financial independence prior to meeting people, then we can focus on finding people of better characters instead of focusing on people that ain't gonna have us out on the street.
Facts.
We spend so much time on that. And another thing, to elaborate even further, the women who are going after the man that have the money and blah, 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 all that glitters is not gold, because a lot of people use money to control you. A lot of these men that have their own money and they have those millions of dollars are going to buy you them bags and fly you them places so they can get away with treating you however they want to treat you. Because they feel like, I have the money, so I have the luxury to treat you however I want to treat you. But if you're a get money woman, people have to come correctly and treat you correctly. There's nothing you can buy me that is going to buy me out of my morals, out of my integrity, out of my values, out of my respect. So basically, everybody get their own money. And then we can align together once we got our own money. And yeah, that's it.
I
Go 50-50 on the bills.
I did enjoy that. I love your perspective.
Thank you.
Are you comfortable?
Mm-hmm.
You feel good?
I feel great.
I think she's just, I love the way she's attacking these topics. Mm-hmm. It could be a lot, like Dar says, to be in the room, and you're supposed to be the representative of all battered women and beaten women and angry women. But you're doing a great job.
Indeed.
I will still want to respond to that a little bit and say, do you think social media will be an example of life imitating art because we have children, and less of us are on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook than our children? And the young girls need validation, and the young boys are being influenced by what they see. And so while all of us have children, mm-hmm. all of us are in a different place. Reality has hit us, life has changed us, and adjusted our look on life. We have our own blinders to the bullshit, because life is right there. My Con Ed bill downstairs, I forgot to pay the shit. They like, we turn your shit off on the 7th, nigga. What's today?
The 3rd.
The 4th.
The 3rd.
They're like, listen,
nigga.
TikTok, nigga. This the real TikTok time, nigga. And I'm pretty sure the gas bill is right behind it. Mm-hmm. So we got our own things that we got to deal with. But the children are impressionable. Very. And they're the ones who are controlled by the society. And it's not even social media. It's the television shows. They see the Real Housewives or the Love and Hip Hops, or all of these things, whether it be even rap music videos or whatever, mm-hmm. That are influential to the way that they carry themselves. They're like, oh, I like that bag. You see it in the store, I'm going to get that bag. You see the way somebody treats somebody, oh, I'm going to do that. The minute fucking Drake said Carbone, you can't get a Carbone like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't. Van Cleef. Niggas is rocking Van Cleef bracelets because Drake said Van Cleef. I didn't even know niggas wore Van Cleef. I thought that was a female brand. I did. But apparently, you can wear them.
Right.
Because Drake said so.
Drake said it's okay.
But if that's the case, then can we afford to say these conversations are merely social media if we know that our children are watching?
I think that as this generation of parents, we have to have these conversations with our kids, because we grew up in the real world, we were able to listen to a Hove song, Money Ain't a Thing, and we cut the radio off and we went outside. We was not watching our favorite celebrities go live. We was not watching what little Kim was doing in her day-to-day life. Nowadays, because these kids can log on and see what Cardi B is shopping and what Lotto is doing, that makes it so much worse. So it's nothing you can really do but have these conversations with your kids, because social media is here to stay. We have access to rich and famous people in a way that we never had before. Just whether it be how they're vacationing, Nicki Minaj is in Cabo, Rick Ross is in Miami. We never knew what celebrities were doing. We just knew they had money, and we went and we lived our real lives. Now, because there is so much access and over access, you can't do anything but handle it in home. So I have these conversations with my daughter. She's 6 years old, and I'm telling her what's real, what's fake, what's a trend, what's a challenge. I don't let her do TikToks like all her friends, because it is that influential and it is that dangerous. So if you have the average person logging on their phone every day and watching somebody worth $50 to $100 million, how they live their life, how they carry their life, how they do their business, their vacation, their fashion, their hair, people are going to get mind fucked thinking that they have to do that or they can do that. So it's nothing we can do in that space but talk to our kids, because it's not like we could just take all their phones forever. You just got to let them know it's entertainment and not get caught up with it.
I was going to say the exact same thing. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world, social media, TVs, movies. At the end of the day, it's about how you parent. I see it all the time. I work with kids. I'm in the school systems, and you could tell the difference. Like there's certain kids that are really good at school, good grades. They listen to the same music as the knuckleheads. They listen to the same shit. They have a stronger foundation. They know what's entertainment and what is something that I aspire to be, because I don't really have role models in my life. So it's the same shit. We just got, social media doesn't mean nothing. It hasn't changed anything. It's just, it was always there. The influences before social media was the niggas in the hood or TV and movies, but it was always influences. So it's really, I remember years ago, I got 2 daughters. I remember years ago, I don't know why I said this, but I mentioned something to Tahoe, like, dang, man, I got 2 girls, I hope that, one of them don't end up on the pole or some shit like that. Tahoe was like, nigga, you in their life. You gonna be in their life. They're gonna be fine. As simple as that. That sentence, I think about that shit all the time, man. You said it to me like 10 years ago. I'm like, that's true. I don't got nothing to worry about. My girls are straight because they got their foundation. They can see whatever they need to see. But they are whole people that understand life and how it works, and they can separate, like you said, entertainment from real life. So that's all. That's all.
That shit in one of his songs. He said, "Her daddy is not around. Her mama is not around." And I think he was talking about a dancer. You know what I'm saying? And it is true, not having that relationship. And to the ladies that's out there that's going through these issues with your daughter, that's just as detrimental, that you're not establishing a safe space with your daughter. It gets to a place where y'all start fighting. If the father's not around, and now y'all are at odds, where does she go? She's gonna find somewhere that she feels safe. The streets will make you feel safe until it don't. That's just how it's like. Come on in, we got room.
One of my homeboys said to me, the first words of affirmation that he heard was from a gangster. A gangster was the first person that told him he was proud of him when he wasn't being told that at home. So he lived his life trying to make sure that he kept making the streets proud. So it starts at home. It starts at home. As long as we doing our big ones with our kids, and they'll be all right.
And they make it, the streets make you feel so okay. Especially because you're scared of it. They'd be like, come on in, bro. Come on in. You want some weed here? You can chill with us. You ain't got to go home. Come on. You can sit right here with us. Come sit in the car. Smoke some weed. Chill. We going to ride around. You're like, oh, shit. This is all right. Next thing you know.
They accept me.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Next thing. So, okay. Damn, we've been talking about this for almost an hour. I hope y'all are all right out there. How y'all feeling, man? Do some happy fingers at your desk right now. Crack your knuckles and shit. Have you sent that damn email that's been waiting all goddamn day? You know all you gotta do is start the shit. Send the email real quick and come back to the show. Y'all, this is, come on. You scared of somebody you don't even fucking know in Japan. Just send the damn email.
You'll feel better about it.
You know what I'm saying? Let's get a little bit of work done. And we're gonna move on to the next topic. There's a lot going on out here in this world. In these streets. And in the skies. What do y'all want to talk about? The streets of the skies.
Yeah, I guess the skies. That's like, I don't know what that is. It sounds mysterious.
The streets or the skies.
Skies.
I noticed this viral moment going around with a young lady named Chika. Have y'all heard about Chika? I don't know. I've actually seen her rap before. I actually think she can rap pretty well.
She can spit, yeah.
Nice.
Right? Like she really be doing her thing. I was following for her for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But something about the tone of some of her stuff, the tweets, which just wasn't in the place where my mentality is at. I like happiness and jokes. You know, I always say, where's the funny Twitter?
Mm-hmm. That's me. All day.
Keep me in funny Twitter.
I'm in funny Twitter.
You know what I'm saying? Every once in a while, I'll, you know, and I did a little bit of serious Twitter shit this week, but we'll get to that when we talk about the streets and life. But I like funny Twitter, you know. But she was a little bit too serious for me. And funny enough, I saw these tweets going viral. She was apparently on a plane, and wasn't too happy with the neighbors that she had on the plane. The tweets go, so the lady next to me, who thought it would be a good idea to buy yourself and your twin infants first-class seats on a red-eye flight, who just woke me up by bringing your screaming bastard to our seats to soothe her, I just bought $34 Wi-Fi at 4 a.m. to call you a stupid bitch. P.S. I hate you and hope you get a paper cut between each finger tomorrow, you senseless wench. Like, are you literally mentally delayed? What makes you think a 1-year-old will shut their bitch ass up on a 7-hour flight that takes off at 1 fucking a.m.? You already had them up past bedtime. I don't care the circumstance. Take your ass to economy at least. This went on. There's more, but you kind of get the tone of what's going on.
She was on the airplane.
That was on the airplane. It was a red-eye flight, I believe, from LA, which it means, 5 a.m. or something like that, or through the night, something like that, right? They didn't take kindly to this, and it went super viral. It went viral until the point where we found the children.
Oh, shit.
What?
And we found their mother.
That was the plot twist.
And the mother, we actually know because she's T.I. and Tiny's daughter. Who actually found the tweets herself.
This is funny.
And did respond. I don't have the response here, but it was quite inflammatory.
Wow. I would imagine so.
And she cannot wait to see her. Now, the only question that I have for y'all, the internet is going nuts. Nuts. Did she deserve it? Did she, does she deserve this type of backlash for those tweets? Look at Kira said, I don't know. Kira's thinking about how she's going to go. Look, she slurped that shit up. She's like, does she deserve this type of backlash is what I want to know.
So deserve is a strong word because, Chika is usually on the other side of things like positivity and holding people accountable for shit from what I've seen. Maybe I haven't followed her recently, but I do follow her. Maybe I haven't seen her tweets recently, right? But so this is news to me to hear her on this side. Maybe I'm lost. But so I say all that to say, when I think of deserve, I don't like to see anybody that I kind of like get dragged. Mm-hmm. So does she deserve it? Yes. I don't like to see it, but she does deserve it. It's like, yo, how you going to wild out? How you going to be that mad and use that type of language for a mom and their kids just because they in first class? Like, take your ass to the economy. Like, what kind of elitist, selfish shit is that? Like, nobody likes to be woken up on a plane by babies. So you just gonna be like, fuck these kids? Like, sometimes it is okay to be like, fuck these kids, but what about the moms and dads that travel with kids? Like, there's just no place for them. They can't be comfortable. They can't be in first class. Like, That's wild that you would go that hard. Just because they woke you up, like, okay, calm down. Fly private next time then.
Fly jet.
You know what I'm saying? This is that serious. You don't want no noise around you? You know what I mean? Control your environment then.
She says, one of the comments that I saw here was what she said was, somebody said, what y'all doing beyond the absolute most about this woman making a rant about crying babies, like she did something to somebody, high levels of unserious. And somebody responded to that. What she said was uncalled for, and it's not her first time making fun of children, black children at that. It's weird, and she deserves everything that's happening.
Okay, see, I don't know her history.
Yes, Chika, I'm a fan.
Yeah,
I love her music. She's dope, but in the last few years, she has consistently been very negative and nasty towards children. One time she posted someone's daughter talking about how ugly the lady's baby was. Like, she's just been very nasty.
See, I missed all that.
Very nasty. Yeah. So I think this was people's straw with her. Like, not again, you coming for children. Like, what is your issue with these little black girls, especially? Right. Like, it's something that makes you very angry. So that's one side of it. But the other side of it, I will say, is someone who used to be miserable. There has been times of my life where I was miserable, and you say things out of your misery. So I just want to extend her that grace to find whatever happiness that she needs to find, because misery really does love company sometimes. And people that are miserable and bitter, like I've been so negative and nasty and said horrible things myself, that when I see people doing that, I'm not looking at it from the place of disdain. I'm looking at it like, you're really hurting. Like, I could see all that anguish and hurt in her because she does this all the time. In the last couple years, this like her 5th nasty rant. So I'm not going, somebody needs to slap her. I'm going, yo, like, you want to talk? Yeah. Like, you need a hug for real? Because what's going on? Like, this is a baby. Right. To call a baby a bitch, that's crazy. Like, fuck them kids. That's the Bernie Mac line. We say that on a regular. But a bitch, a bastard, like, oh, you meant that. Like, I didn't look at that and go, oh my God, here she go again. I looked at that and was like, where's her tribe? Like, where are your friends? You are in so much pain and anguish, because every time you do this, what she does is flip it to go, oh, people are attacking me. It's like she does the throw the rock and hide the hand. I'm going to say something that's crazy about a group of people, and then I'm going to play the victim on the back end and say, why is this happening? So when people start attacking her, she goes, well, everybody hates me. I'm going to just disappear. I'm going to just do da-da-da. So it's like, y'all really just want to hug that girl real bad and just like.
She actually did that. Here she wind up after telling the mother to fuck you, hoe, choke. Once again, in one of her tweets, she realized that it wasn't going well, and said, I wasn't cruel to anyone. I was mean about someone. Stop complaining to acting like I caused harm. I can own what I did. I will not own what's projected on me. I'm sorry. But then she said, I'll be with my mom in less than an hour, and I could cry. Things have been so bad, and she's been begging me to come home. She says she's been cooking all week. My dad is at home waiting. I'm just going to fall into their arms and disengage from all of this make-believe bullshit. To Kira's point, something's wrong.
Something's wrong.
You can tell when somebody's not grounded, when something's just not right. And we're doing a lot of reacting. It's that social media thing. This is a moment. We can get off. We can get our shit off. And that's why I asked if she deserves it, I think. I think that's where the energy comes from. Because I realize when somebody's already broken, a person that sent those tweets is broken. What he said? Hating hoes. What he said? Something ain't hating hoes. What's the word?
Hating hoes ain't happy, and happy hoes ain't hating.
Happy hoes ain't hating. Happy hoes ain't hating. They just don't. Like, we don't. We don't have time for that. We rise above that. We're not gonna get down in the dirt with you like peasantry. I don't have time for that. You know what I'm saying? These sneakers cost $750. I ain't got time for that. Be fucking out here scuffling with you. I agree with Kira. I wish Shorty healing. I hope this doesn't destroy her career. I don't think it will, but it's just like something ain't right if you that.
And like
bitter.
I said, this is like the third or fourth.
That's what I saw.
Offense.
I remember this before.
This has been years of her doing this.
And she does those rants.
The rants, and it's always like, damn, like
you went a little hard,
right? Like
you went a little hard.
She's a habitual line stepper.
Yes,
huh?
and then
it's past line stepping.
Because I step on the line. I'm always going viral on something I say, but it's just like if you continuously do that from that place, I could see the darkness in her words.
Yeah.
It's like because I done been through my own darkness and I done been miserable and I done been bitter, every time she's doing that, I'm going, you so unhappy. Mm-hmm. You so unhappy. I remember being there. And I hope that somebody come and pull you out of that too. Like she needs some real friends.
Could it be, and I'm just speculating, could it be, I don't know her personally, does she have kids?
Mm-mm.
I would assume not, right?
Mm-mm.
Maybe she wants kids or she can't have kids or something and she's projecting that anger on other people and I don't know what it is, but
as well.
It's something going on with her. I agree with that.
But shout out to the army of Twitter people who are holding her accountable.
Yes.
Shout out to y'all. But sometimes I feel like the army of Twitter people need to be held a mirror held up to you. Because are you doing this because you're really mad? Or are you looking for attention? Are you just... Let me speak on it. Why? This week, a young lady who is the mother of 3 children, I believe. 3 children. And married to comedian DC Youngfly. I believe they're married. Is they married or girlfriend?
I think they were a long-term relationship.
Long-term relationship, but I believe their children are together. Wanted to go through a mommy makeover. Mm-hmm. She just wanted her body back, from what was being reported. And before I speak on this, I want to say my condolences to all of the people that know her, to their family, to DC Youngfly, to the children. She's a 32-year-old young lady. She deserves some respect. She deserves a moment. Her family deserves respect, a moment, condolences. But that same army of accountability came rushing in.
The think pieces.
They came rushing in. Oh, she just had a baby within the last year. You're not supposed to do that. She brought that on herself. These women in these surgeries. Bro, and it wasn't just one. And I don't want to be the guy, honestly, I'm not Trav, that just wants to go, we're talking about women all day. But it was a lot of women.
It was all women.
It was a lot of women. And I don't understand the need. She's just passed 2 days ago. Can you explain to me what this is about?
To me, from the comments that I saw, it looked like it was a lot of anti-surgery people. And it looked like they were just super happy that something went wrong so they could have the means to say, see, this is why y'all should stay off them tables. It was like a gotcha moment for people that are against the BBL community. So for them, it was like, oh, someone high profile, see, this is what we be trying to tell y'all about. It was just the timing, disgusting. It kind of felt like a I told you so, and everybody wanted to get off their think piece instead of actually giving a fuck that 3 children lost their mom. Because it wasn't from a place of real concern. It was a, see, this is what we be talking about with y'all and them surgeries. Like, it was disgusting. I was off Twitter that day for sure.
I don't live in a woman's shoes. Mm-hmm. I live in a male's shoes, right? Mm-hmm. I'm telling y'all right now, if all of this jumping jacks I'm doing right now don't work, I'm going to give you liposuction. I am tired of being a fat nigga around my friends. I'm tired. Nigga, I'll just be out here looking like Homer Simpson. I'm tired, bro. I'm doing a million jumps, I'm doing burpees and shit, and I come home and I eat a piece of cake. I'm hungry. I can't. Listen, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. But to the young ladies that are living in their bodies, and I think their looks mean so much to them. Mm-hmm. the world judges you on it. They treat you a certain way because of it. Whether it's the way the Fashion Nova dress fits you, where it might fit your friend a different way, and on you it's baggy in the places where it needs to be, or there's no definition because you need a breast to fill it out or whatever. Women walk around and they have these issues. From that to the mothers that go through emotional turmoil after having not only one but 3 children, the mental shit from what do you call it, postpartum, and just things that women go through that, to physical, looking at your body. How many times have we? I'm gonna say it. You know, the oatmeal cook. You know when.
That meme.
When it.
The oatmeal cookie meme for the stomach, the saggy titty meme for the
it's all
breast.
long,
We see all of that.
So, you know, I try not to add a joke in here, but you know what I'm saying? We see how we make fun of these bodies. These women live like that. And when you post that shit online, there's 2 million women that have that body. That are getting the push-up bras or are not, or having sex with their shirt on, and they don't want to, they don't feel comfortable in their body. I don't understand how women could not understand that. How could you be that foul to another woman?
My thing is, if you feel like people are getting surgery from a place of insecurity, then why judge people for that insecurity instead of loving on them and speaking life into the things that they're insecure about? If you feel like, oh, all these bitches don't love themselves, they run into the doctor, then why would that make you want to beat down on them even more? Why would that make you not want to be like speaking words of affirmation and letting them know they're beautiful? See what I'm saying? It's very confusing and it's very backwards. We speak so much about the effects of the things that we're causing. We're causing a lot of these situations and not realizing that it's happening because of us.
Trauma's over there rubbing his palms. Yeah. So I'm starting to feel we're about to get some of this gaslighting. What's going on?
I'm not gaslighting. I'm not mad at the conversation because it needs to happen. And when sad things happen, when sometimes it sparks conversation, and we need that. So, for example, I didn't know that it was dangerous for a woman to undergo plastic surgery when they've just had a baby within a year, right? So that's news that needs to circulate. These conversations need to happen so people know how to be safe and be careful going forward. So I'm not mad at the conversation, but the conversation has to be done tastefully, has to be done with empathy. And you always have to, like you start off the conversation, rest in peace, condolences to the family. Anything that is said after that has to be respectful to this person that just lost their life. You know what I mean? The conversation needs to happen, but it has to happen respectfully. You know what I mean? And I think that's probably what's missing in some of the dialogue online or social media. People just throwing darts and I told you so's and all that, but it lacks empathy, you know?
I have the conversation regularly. I'm natural body. I have a platform of hundreds and thousands of women that I'm very big on. I got all my girls following me, going to the gym. We getting trainers. We getting our bodies right naturally. I ain't never had a lipo. I ain't never had an injection. I'm very celebrating our natural figures. But I'm not going to use the death of someone's mom and best friend as the timing to further my agenda. Timing is super important. If the conversation needs to be had, I was having this conversation a month ago. Somebody doesn't need to die for you to be having a conversation about BBLs and surgery. I don't have to wait until people are in a sense of mourning to talk about it. Because, for example, when the police kill someone and we're all rallying around mourning this death, you got those group of people that are like, what about black on black crime?
Right.
What about, the people in the hood is killing each other? It's like, no. We supposed to be talking about that on a regular basis. You should not have to wait until we're in mourning about this to bring up the agenda that you have about the violence in the black community. If the violence in the black community is your agenda, then let's talk about that on a random Tuesday.
Right.
You don't wait until someone is dead to start furthering that agenda because it's so insensitive. You have to be extremely sensitive about that. And like I said, I'm natural, everything. I will never touch my body in any way, but that's not the time for that conversation. People are crying. The whole community is sitting, 3 children. 3 children. Like, If
Young
that was your
children,
mom, you know what I
too.
mean? Young children.
Yeah.
This is the time for that?
Yeah.
We know surgery is dangerous. But let's talk about surgery being dangerous a month ago. Why use someone's death as a catalyst for that I told you so moment? It just seems so inhumane. Like, yeah, I just didn't like that.
Only
of it.
pushback I offer to that is that when somebody dies, it's so extreme that you naturally want to talk about it.
Right.
So I can understand people's natural inclination to talk about it now. It's a conversation topic.
It's a conversation topic,
You
but
know
we
what I
have
mean?
to be careful that we're not using human beings for hot topics and gossip on our timelines because they have families that are still seeing this.
Or do it respectfully is what I'm saying. Like, you know,
Somebody in the comments said the timing is off, indeed, but it's an awareness. Like how we mentioned getting life insurance, then getting GoFundMe's. So I saw a lot of that. I saw a lot of people that understood that the timing was off with the conversations, but they still disagreed with the idea of having the surgeries for this and for that and for this and for that. And maybe I'm just too PC now, where it's just like, damn, but I wouldn't jump on top of that. Because I remember when Nipsey passed, I believe it was, and I jumped in. I was like, damn, yo, like, black men go through so much with being scared for our lives. I wonder, do women really be scared for their lives the way black men be scared for their lives?
yeah, I remember that.
Oh man, did they come down on me? Did they come down on me? I wasn't really trying to tell you nothing about women though. I was just trying to say, like, every day you go outside as a man, you're looking to see if the nigga that you walking by is the nigga that you had beef with, is the nigga that wants a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, when you walk, when
You don't
ladies,
think we looking at the same thing?
yeah, but see, y'all, I think there's a lot more. Is he gonna try to talk to me?
Talk?
Or harm. but
Talk.
Death usually isn't.
Is he
on the
going
table.
to try to grab me and assault me?
Okay.
Talk? We're not scared of being talked to.
So okay. I didn't even realize that, okay, if you got 10 niggas on the corner, one nigga find you attractive, if he don't have the right play, if he don't have the right mind upbringing, that he might be like, Ma, come here, yo, Ma, where you going? Yo, where you going? And now you automatically, nigga try to talk to you in front of your kids. Nigga will pull up on you,
have
follow
to-
you. I
you
didn't
have-
even think about that.
We have mace on our keys because we get followed home so much. We have to keep a weapon readily handy just to get in our door. Talk? Oh, that's the least of our concern. We're thinking, please just say something nice. Please don't let me get shot in the face. Please don't let me get attacked from rejecting this man too harshly. Yeah, we scared like y'all. We scared of y'all. It's very scary to be a woman. Why you think we act like men? Because when we are softer, we're seen more as a target. But if we base up, it's like, that might be a little bit too much of a challenge to try her. So that's not to diminish how scary it is to feel like, is this nigga a op? But hell yeah, we scared of the same men y'all scared of. If a man is scary to you, then how the fuck you think we feel about him?
Right.
If you as a grown man thinks like I need to watch over my shoulder, then what you think we as women are feeling?
Right.
I cannot let this nigga walk behind me. I purposely walk into the traffic so I can see the cars coming in my direction because I don't even want cars driving behind me. It's very scary. Like, hell yeah, we scared like y'all.
So to accept your statement, I will 1,000%, and I understand it's a different thing, because it's gonna be one nigga out of that 10 that's gonna take it there. Maybe it's 2. Maybe it's 3.
Group. Maybe it's the whole group that sees a woman walking
But
by
see,
herself.
that's the thing for me as a man, and this is not to compare struggles. I'm worried about all 10 of them,
Yes.
because if I have a problem with one, all 10 of them is coming.
And if you think that one rapist is hanging out with a group of good men, or is that one rapist going, y'all see that woman, let's all follow her?
What you going gang? Oh, you got a gangs of rapists? I never heard of that. There's a gangs of rapists? This is like,
Oh my God. This
I've
is the
never heard
privilege.
that.
This is the
like
privilege
rape
that
mates?
you've never heard about this. It's a privilege that you don't know about that.
there's
Understand
gangs
that.
of rapists?
Understand that. It's a privilege that you don't know this is happening. I am shocked. I'm very jealous that you didn't even know that right now.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay. So we're talking like the Tupac situation, where like they got Shorty in a room and they do things and without her. Okay. So, okay. Yeah, you get where I'm going with that, Tron?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, all of a sudden some shit happens. Y'all take advantage. Now you're a gang of rapists.
Mm-hmm.
Just like that. But I don't think that niggas hanging on the corner like, yo, we gonna rape this bitch. I think that shit happens and niggas don't have no idea of consent or just knowing when to back the fuck off. Am I wrong? There's a gangs of niggas on the corner raping people.
I don't want to laugh as I'm saying it, but I don't know how heavy your audience.
Nah, they
you know,
these niggas
but
is crazy.
Yeah, like
there's gangs of rapists on the corner.
Women will wake up early to go to the gas station. I know you heard about what happens at the gas station.
That's crazy.
Because you don't want to get caught by yourself with a group of men. You think this is just one bad guy in the whole group of good men? No, if it's one, it's all. Because what's going to happen with a real man, a good man, you going to beat the shit out of a nigga that's on that timing. So they're not going to hang out with the likes of you. They going to hang out with other men like them. If you notice that when a rapist gets arrested, it'd be like 4. It'd be like 4 of them in a group. A woman was in Miami. All 4 of these men arrested in connection with her assault. Like, hell yeah, they in groups and droves. They like cops, like I said.
Oh my God.
They like cops. It's heavy.
I looked at some of them videos of them kids that run up on women in the gas stations and like surround them and I wonder, do they just not understand what her perspective is right now? They just like are they just not getting? Are they not tapped in to know like, yo, we're scaring the shit out of her? Like we trying to play. It's like, you know. But no, nigga, she's scared for her life. She's being nice because she's scared if she's angry. The minute she gets angry with y'all, there's a whole different perspective. And it's 20 of y'all around her. Her car's over there. She got to get out of here. She lives around here. She might see y'all again. So she's just trying to like, all right, guys, easy, haha. You grab my titty. That was fun. Stop, please, don't. No, what you mean? Yo, sorry, shorty, yo, shorty. And now it's scary because she already been violated and she can't get to her fucking car. Mm-hmm. And you niggas is not gonna let her get away. So I get it, but I don't know. I just still have faith in us. I don't believe that we're naturally like that. I believe there's some niggas is like that, but I think some people just don't get it. What, Melly?
I think that I consider you a good man. I think that as a good man, you'll never know how men are because they're not going to be themselves around you. There's a way that men act around real men. If a real man walk in the room, these niggas is going to be docile in front of y'all. But as a woman, they're going to show their true colors when they know it's not a man in the room to check them. So there are men that have behaviors that you will never see because he's not going to be that way around you.
I'm walking, and I said this on the show before. I'm walking in Times Square behind my girl. Times Square is so packed, we couldn't walk through this certain part next to each other. Mm-hmm. So she walked in front and I walked behind. Mm-hmm. But I did that because I didn't want her to be behind me and somebody do something and I can't see. Mm-hmm. So a nigga walks up to her and like say this, she's the mic. He just was like this on her as she walked by. And I had to come up like, yo, like what the fuck was that? Mm-hmm. What was that? Y'all got beef? Mm-hmm. Because you ain't even trying to talk to her. You put your energy on her. Like she can't get around you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, body. I was blown away because she looked good. That's how you talk to her? It's different if you would just be like, yo, ma, whatever.
That if he saw you.
So, but when I did it, he kind of like looked like, what is it? And I'm looking like, what you mean? Mm-hmm. What do you mean?
That's what I'm trying to say.
And he just turned around and kept going, but it's like, am I bugging? This nigga?
That's regular though. There's a female experience that you witness, and then there's shit that we go through that you would never see. Me and her going, oh, that's a regular Tuesday. That's a regular Tuesday. There's a certain way men are not going to move when real men are in the room. Y'all don't know how sucker these niggas are because they're not going to be that way around y'all. Mm. You know for a fact, if y'all walk in the room and there's sucker niggas in there, they're going to try to act solid. But if they know that there's no men around to check them, we going to see the true colors. Women, we know the true makings of men like that you would probably never have to see. That's why you like, it's gangs of men out here. And I'm going like,
that's gangs of rapists.
Gangs of rapists is regular, unfortunately.
Pull up. We got room, nigga. We have a whole outline here. Y'all all right? I hope the women aren't incensed at me today. It's like, nigga, you know this gang's a rapist. Didn't know. I didn't know there was gangs of rapists. Trom, did you know?
I mean, I knew the gang rape exists, but I understand your point. We know that gang rape does exist, but literally, like, every nigga on the corner is involved in this activity. Like, I understand what you're saying.
I will say that there was a rapist. I called him a rapist because he was a statutory rapist. I spoke about this before. That he used to hang up around the corner. And to my point, just to speak on it a little bit, the ignorance as a young boy, I knew that he was having sex with young girls. He was 45, and he had like a folder with like 16-year-old girls in it, and he liked to sodomize them. And he would show everybody the folder. I never looked at this folder. I was disgusted by his presence. But I didn't take it upon myself to get him out of there. I felt that he had more time on the block. Everybody knew him. He was cool with most of the people on the block. So I just stayed away from him. You know what I'm saying? The guy I am now, he couldn't live on that block. Most likely he couldn't live. Most likely, I would have just put the money out and that had been done away from the block. And that's it. Because I'm a father, I think that just teaches me something different, or maybe it's the age or something. It's like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm just disgusted by
We don't know what we
your
don't know until we know better.
presence. So, you know what I mean? But yeah, he passed away, thank God. So, I think this is different. When I was younger, I just didn't have that mindset to do that, to think that way. You know, I knew it, but I was just like, these girls, they going over there, they know what they doing. It's crazy to me. But I also didn't understand women. I did not understand little girls. It's a point in my life that I really did not understand people. I still had to learn life enough to be able to characterize people and right and wrong and things like that. You know what I'm saying? I was still learning things as I went through it at the time, more so than understanding the difference between right and wrong. So a lot of times I just couldn't believe that 16-year-old girls was messing with this 45-year-old man. I was just like, what? Like, I don't know if I blame them for it. Is it both parties? As a 16-year-old and he's wooing you to the crib with clothes and Jordans and weed and liquor.
Yes, both parties.
Why isn't your mic turned towards you?
Right.
Why are you over there talking like you don't have a mic?
I'm not used to.
You've been doing this for months. What do you mean you're not used to it?
That's the thing. We never used to have mics, so I'm used to not
You
having
just
the
back
mic.
there just talking to yourself out loud?
Y'all can hear me.
Yes.
No, I'm saying that. I feel like it's both parties. Like, I don't want to. No, I don't care. It's both parties because just like how we were talking about earlier, that it's the foundation, how you were raised. If you weren't raised to know to say no or to know not to mess with a 45-year-old man, then it's your fault. Like, you have the decision to. I want to say it's your fault. I feel like it is your fault and the other party's fault unless it's rape. If it's rape and you're forced, then that is not your fault. But if you agree to be like, okay, yes, oh, he's flashing mad jewelry, mad clothes, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go over there, and you're actively like, you know what you're doing, even though yes, you're young.
At 16, you don't
16,
know.
you don't know what you're doing.
know.
That's grooming.
That's why the
baby.
law exists.
That's grooming. These is children.
I feel as if like it's hard because it's how you're raised. If you are raised to know that this is wrong, then you're going to go with that. But if you're raised not knowing that, you're going to think that this is right. Like, it's just, I don't know. I just
But then
feel
you're also not, if it's how you're raised, then it's still not your fault.
Right.
It's not your fault.
If it's still not your fault. If it's how you're raised, you're still a victim one way or another.
You're a
Whether you've been
victim,
victimized
yeah.
by the way you were raised and your mother showed you certain shit, or she wasn't around, or your father was aggressive, or whatever it may be. You got people in your family that made you think this certain type of behavior was okay. that still doesn't make it your fault. At 16 years old, you don't have the
cognitive education to know what grooming is and know what the side effects of these decisions that you're making are. You don't know better, hence why you can't even be charged with certain crimes at that age, because you are under the care, you're supposed to be under the care of the adults around you. And at that age, you're looking at adults as authority. So if an adult is telling you anything from hold this drugs to commit this crime to have sex with me, you're going to think as a child, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah. They don't know no better.
Yeah,
you don't know what you don't know until you know better. And a lot of girls who think like, oh, I was making my decision, I was just being fast. Baby, you was groomed. You didn't know. You didn't know what the side effects of that decision was going to be.
But he did.
He did.
He knew that he couldn't get away with that with women his age. He knew that
and it's
he was
also
taking advantage of certain shit.
I was going to say something that was spicy.
Go ahead.
But if it was a 15-year-old boy having sex with his 45-year-old basketball coach, or a 15-year-old boy having sex with a priest, would it also be that child's fault? Or do we just put the burden of responsibility on little girls to know better? Because a lot of children that are victims to pedophiles get groomed. But when it's little boys, sometimes they're looked at as victims. But when it's little girls, it's like, oh, she was being fast. She was going over there. She knew what she was getting herself into.
Jesus, that was a good point.
Yep.
And the shit just got heavy. This damn podcast. We ain't laughing enough today.
Yeah, I know. We got cracks.
We've been in the whole goddamn. It's just been dark.
It got dark outside.
Darkness is spreading.
I want to say maybe I should have did a trigger warning before I started that, but I'm gonna do one now. I want y'all all to go shake it off. Everybody, just get relax yourselves. We are gonna go to part 2 right now. I'm gonna take a break. It's been dark. We've had death. We've had rape. We've had kids not being left alone. We had Charles talking to his mother like that. God damn, Charles. Charles was bugging the hell out. We had Chika. Chika don't like babies. It's just been a whole dark episode. I think it's the cloudiness is just
got
fucking with us.
cloudy.
Yeah. Today is Biggie Smalls' block party, so I'm gonna run over there after this and have me a nutcracker or something. But I wish y'all all a great lunch. Hopefully it's lunchtime if you're at work right now and you've listened from this morning. Did you send the fucking email yet? Sorry, come on. Send the damn email. Get with us in a second. We'll be right back for part 2. So somebody say so shameless.
So shameless.
Yeah, that's what we do.
All right.
That nigga be crispy. Yeah, hey, I'm shameless, so shameless. When my dogs on the block, it was dangerous. Take a girl out to eat and she's paying. I'm shameless, so shameless. I'ma go hit Tahoe up. Come bring the Tahoe truck, body bags on body bags. Come pick this garbage up. DJ mixing in the booth, he leave him traumatized up. I ain't got no time to waste. Let's get these commas on. I'm sitting in class, I can't even focus. Looking at cheese, hoping that she don't notice. Titty sit right, that ass be poking. I'm sitting in the front cause I gotta be the closest. I'm just waiting for the bell, let everybody leave. I passed with an A, but left her with a D.